Hello everyone, my name is Justin Shorty. I'm a health educator out here in Shiprock at the Tisnos Wellness Center. Today we'll be going through different cookie recipes that are very friendly for people who are managing blood sugar levels. We have several ingredients. This is going to be a simple low carb peanut butter cookie that we're doing today. I'm using creamy peanut butter as the base, and I'm going to be powdering this stevia blend of alternate sugar. It's not artificially made. It comes from a plant, a stevia plant, and they add in some different forms of sugar alcohol to keep it more shelf stable, and it's actually a lot sweeter than regular sugar. So if you are using this at home, you would have to use half of it. So if you're like adding a teaspoon of sugar to any of your drinks like coffee or your fruit juices, you can just use half a teaspoon. So this is a very good alternate option, and it's good for people who have diabetes, as it won't cause their blood sugar levels to spike. And the only reason why we're using it today is because we are making some desserts. And then we also have some baking soda to help whenever we do baking, to keep everything nice and fluffy. And we're also going to be adding an egg to this recipe. For this recipe, if you really want to go completely without any eggs, you can probably use like a banana or even applesauce. And to start, because this stevia is a bit grainy, you can get one of these. This is like a little coffee grinder, or if you have a blender at home, you can use that. And all you're going to do is you're just going to add it to a blender or any grinder, and all you're going to do is just going to make a bit of powdered sugar for home. And you don't really have to blend it that long to get it fully grounded into a finer powder. And for many people, if they're wanting to use this and to store it for baking in the future, or they're more concerned about not getting their equipment covered in sugar, you can add a pinch of cornstarch to help break it up so it doesn't bind so much. There. So I think that's pretty good right there. So this recipe does call for using creamy peanut butter, but if you like different varieties of peanut butter, that works just as great as well. Like for many people, they might try to get peanut butter that has a lot of protein in it. Or you can get peanut butter that has some nuts in it for like a crunchy texture. And so for this recipe that I'm making today, it calls for about 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. This is about 1/3 cup right here. And then we're going to crack in 1 egg. And we're going to add about half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And all you're doing is you're just mixing it together to make a nice gooey dough. And the reason why we're calling it low carb is because we're not adding any flour to this recipe. And it's just going to be simple ingredients. Your powdered stevia sugar, 1 cup of peanut butter, creamy peanut butter is preferred, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 large egg, and then for people who do want their cookies to rise a little bit, you can add some baking soda. Make it nice and fluffy and soft. Teaspoon. Wait, is this? Oh yeah. Right here, half a teaspoon. Baking soda. Okay, that's perfect. And then once your mixture is evenly blended together, you're gonna grab about a teaspoon or a tablespoon size of the dough, roll it into your palms, and then put it on the baking sheet. And you want to make sure they're about the same size so that they bake evenly together. And since this recipe does call for an egg, it's best to make sure that everything is cooked thoroughly before you eat it. Alright, so this recipe makes about 14 different or 1 tablespoon size peanut butter cookies, and the final step is you're going to get a fork, and all you're going to do is you're going to make that crisscross pattern on the cookie. Alright, so now that we have our 14 cookies placed on our parchment paper, make sure that the oven is preheated to 350 degrees and bake for about 12 to 15 minutes. Alright, after 15 minutes are up, you can take out your freshly baked peanut butter cookies, and we're going to allow it to cool for 20 to 25 minutes before we transfer it onto a cooling rack.